Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm KandyCorpse, you can call me K, and today we are going to be reacting to some more Am I the Asshole stories that I found on Reddit. So my computer is actually about to die. Whatever. I'm on 30%. We're just gonna have to make this quick because I do not feel like going and getting the charger. Am I the asshole for using my now ex after I found out he was cheating? Immediately no, because I did the same thing in my first relationship, so I get it. I'm with you on this one. I found out the guy I was living with was cheating on me last June. It hurt, but I couldn't afford to move out, so I swallowed my pride and let it continue. I slowly started to notice that my life was actually better. I didn't act suspicious of him at all. He got bolder and started spending nights and even weekends away. Our bedroom went dead when I stopped initiating. Honestly, fine by me. He was fine in bed, but I've had better. Got tested and I'm fine. You go, girl. I stopped spending money on any extras. I continued to do the shopping for the house, and I used his half to top up the groceries that I liked. Period. He ain't even there anyways, so you might as well get the stuff that you want. I still made sure that there was good food for him in the fridge and pantry. I stopped covering small stuff like his dry cleaning, as you should, because and at the end of the day, you're still doing the nice thing, which you don't have to do it all. Let's just be clear. I sold my car and started using his since he hardly used it. I put all my money into a separate account. We never really mingled our money. We only had one joint account just to pay the bills. Took 7 months, but I saved up almost $20,000, including the money for my car. Damn. I mean, I'm sure the car put a decent amount towards that, but holy shit. Damn, I wish that was me. He talked to me just after the new year about the lease in March. I was honest and told him that I was leaving him, but that I would stay until March as a roommate if it would help him out. He got very upset and said I blindsided him. I said it should be easy for him to find a roommate for our apartment. It's pretty cheap and we'll be located in our city. He said that he wants me out at the end of January and he will pay February by himself if I let him keep the damage deposit. I agreed, moved in with my sister temporarily, and he also asked for his car keys back. His side piece moved in almost immediately. Whatever. I ran into them at the farmer's market when I work on the weekends. Okay. The spelling error threw me off. I introduced myself to her and said she must be Maggie. He asked how I knew her name. I was honest and said I'd known about her for 6 months or so. Now I'm hearing a few mutuals that I embarrassed him and threw a wrench in their relationship. He had been telling her we were just roommates and that I was uncomfortable with him bringing women into the apartment. That is absolutely fucking true. I would have been very uncomfortable. Yeah. Anyway, he started doing the math, figured out how I funded my exit. He said if I knew, I should have confronted him so we could have ended it last year. I told him to go shit in his hat. Was I wrong for handling things the way I did? No, absolutely not. Oh, but my computer almost just flipped off my lap. But no, absolutely not. You're not the asshole at all. That was actually the really smart way to do it because sometimes you don't know how people react. And he said, get the fuck out now. So if you had gotten out then, you didn't have the savings. Yeah, you had your sisters to go to, but at the end of the day, it's better to have somewhere temporary that you can fall back on when things like this happen and still have your savings if you're able to get yourself in that situation to be able to move on and say okay, fuck you, I'm done with you. I can move on and do my own thing. And that's exactly what OP did here. So I'm going to give my stamp of approval, not the asshole, and you're funny and smart. You did that. Am I the asshole for telling my wife's friend I don't have to see her classroom to know that she's a horrible teacher? My wife's friend was supposed to come watch fireworks with us tonight, but she just texted my wife, said she isn't coming because I'm a nasty person who encourages my child to be rude and disrespectful. My wife and I just had a small argument about the situation that ended with her pulling a big Lebowski on me and saying I don't have to be wrong to be an asshole. That's true, but I think her friend is the asshole, not me. I'll tell you what happened and you can decide for us. My wife's friend was at our house for dinner. She's a teacher and she complains about it a lot. She says the parents are impossible to deal with, the administration is not supportive, everyone has an opinion on curriculum and the kids don't listen. I mean, those are understandable things to complain about, but they're also it does get to a point where it can be too much. And sometimes you do have to say to someone like, hey, like, I know you're just venting, talking, struggling, whatever, but like, I've heard this so many times, like, can we just have, you know, a minute? Can we have some time? Can we talk about something else? Like, I'm just not in the mental space for this. I can't listen to this right now. I think it's very fair and valid, and that friend should do that sometimes. But as the person hearing that, you need to realize, like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. And even though, like, you know, some people might take that super personally as they don't want to hear me talk ever again, and really they need to just realize it's like, oh, okay, let me pull back, like, we're gonna revisit this later, and try to like realize, oh, okay, like, I'm saying a lot, like, I'm repeating myself, you know. But we'll see how OP approaches it, because that is really like the meat of what the issue is here that we're deciding. I include these complaints as context for the discussion. She told my wife she was working on her lesson plan for February and Black History Month, and that she was making a fact sheet about Martin Luther King Jr. for her kids. Our son, who's a huge Star Trek fan, said that she should include the fact that Martin Luther King Jr. was a Star Trek fan. My wife's friend, with a very patronizing tone and expression, might I add, said that maybe he would have been if he'd still been alive when it aired. My son said that he was, and that he used to watch it with his daughters. My wife's friend said that he died before the show aired. I told her she was very wrong and my son was correct. She said I was a perfect example of a parent that can't acknowledge when their child is wrong. I said no. You're a perfect example of a teacher that assumes she knows everything and can't connect with her students because she doesn't respect them. I'm not hearing anything wrong, because that's exactly what just happened. She was wrong, and when someone else was like, actually, yeah, you're wrong, instead of, you know, every single one of us has fucking smartphones, looking it up and being like, oh, like, what's true, whatever, or even just like humbling the kid and then talking to the parents afterwards and being like, oh, I don't know if that's necessarily true, whatever. Anyway, my wife forced us all to change the topic. After dessert, I pulled up a video on YouTube where Nicholas was talking about Martin Luther King Jr. about Star Trek. I showed it to everyone. My wife's friend asked why I couldn't let the topic lie. I said I didn't want my son to feel like he was wrong for sharing facts he knows about his interests. My wife's friend said, I don't know what it's like to be a teacher. I said I don't, but I know she's a bad one. That's where that comment came in. Really just driving the nail in with that one. I get it. She said I'd never seen her in the classroom. I said I didn't need to, because I see how she is in her day-to-day life, and people are who they are regardless of where they are. So my wife's argument is I'm an asshole for bringing the topic back up after it was settled. But that's the thing, like, the person kept going, like, even when faced with the truth, like, irrefutable facts, and they were just like, well, why couldn't you just leave it alone? Because you were arguing with me, and you're wrong. Like, you're, like, as an educator, why are you, you know, sorry, my TV just like went dark for a second. As an educator, like, it is your responsibility. Obviously something random like this, like, you might not know, people aren't going to know that. I didn't know that until just now. Like, it is what it is. But as an educator, like, you need to understand that you don't know everything. There are people above you, there are people below you, and you can learn anything from anyone, anywhere, at any time. She said I could have played the video for our son after her friend left, and I taught him about giving others grace and not needing external validation. I disagree and think it's important. Our kid knows we will always stand up for him. So am I the asshole? I mean, no, I guess there is that argument for, you know, the fact that you brought it up again, but they also were very stern on, like, I'm right, you're wrong, and then what makes you think you're allowed to prove me wrong? Like, how dare you? Like, I get it. I think both the friend and OP just, like, have personalities that are very similar in some ways. And it's, like, negative ways, and it's why they don't mesh. They're both very, like, stubborn, very, like, I'm right and I'm gonna prove you right. So I think something like this was kind of inevitable, but I don't know. I guess I would say, like, everyone sucks here, or more of a neutral ground, because, like, no, you weren't wrong, but you also did say, like, I know you're a bad teacher because I don't like you outside of you teaching. I do see the connection, but also at the same time, you only see pieces of her and pieces of her life. So I also understand why that's like, that is an asshole thing to say. Like, that is an asshole thing to say. I think this is more of like an everyone sucks here, because your wife is being weird about it. Like, I agree with you that you should stand up for your kid 100%, but I think the way you went about it, escalated things. Escalation is the word I'm looking for. The way you went about it escalated things, escalated the situation. Future me, while editing this video, the last story I was gonna do was deleted. I didn't get screenshots yet because, like a dummy, like I always do, I recorded this like a week or two ago and I didn't take the screenshots then. I just saved them. And luckily I took screenshots of the first one because I edited that like a couple days after. But yeah, so I'm just deleting that whole last clip. It was about someone, like, they were getting bit and like intentionally, and they spilled hot sauce on, maybe it wasn't deleted, but I don't know, I can't find it. They spilled hot sauce on their sleeve, got bit again, never got bit again after the person tasted the hot sauce. I didn't think they were wrong. Maybe they took it down because the comments said that they were wrong, or maybe a family member found it. I have no idea, but I just completely removed it. And I'm just gonna have like an extra short video for today. So yeah. Okay, everybody, that is it for today. I know I look chopped as fuck, but like my hair, it's almost dry. It was still wet at the beginning of the video. I just got out of the shower, but it's fine. I just don't have the energy. I was gonna say the time, but I did have the time earlier today. I could have like done my makeup and gotten all like dressed up and done something fun just to like, because I haven't done that in a while. And I took a nap instead. So like I said, didn't have the energy to really get dressed up for y'all, but that's okay. I will see you guys in the next video. Let me know if you want to see more Am I the Asshole? And I have a whole playlist if you've never seen me before and want to see some of my other videos. Okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye. I will see you later.